Here we go. We are live. We are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me know if you guys can hear me. No like. You got to keep up with the Kardashians. You don't have to like the Kardashians. You have to keep up with them. Come on, guys. Get with the program here. All right, I'm just setting up everything on my end as we howdy from Texas. As always, let me know where you're from. Trying to get this going here. Good stuff. Sound check all good. Thank you. Thank you. New York City. Truth is coming. Yeah. Brazil, Texas. Neil McCoy Ward. Yeah. Vinny, I'm not sure if that was you from yesterday, but that's one name. I hadn't heard of it before yesterday. Red Deer, Alberta. Good stuff. Sacramento. Excellent. I'm just pulling up the control room on my end here. There's no way for me to do it in advance, I think so. Okay, there we go. So just waiting for everybody to get in. We got 50 people in here. In the meantime, I can always go through some of the technicals and so on. You know, I did see the market was up to a degree today. It was Dow Jones up 286 points. So another big day in the markets. And by the way, if anybody wants me to cover something in particular, just let me know. Just let me know. This is not guru hour or something. You know what I mean? This is for all of us. Okay, you can see it there. Perfect. So that's Bitcoin. Bitcoin moved above. I mean, you got to see this. So it went bullish today on a few indicators. It's still below the 50-day moving average, but it has moved up significantly. You could see right here. So it's under 30,000 for a period, and now suddenly it's moving up. It's 32,000. So this is like a big move in a short period. But as you can see over the last little while, it had been rather bearish. So you know it's not yet. I wouldn't say it's not yet a big buy signal. But anyway, you got to do what you want with your investments. You can see how the S&P moved up. It's very, very similar pattern to what was experienced back in June. Again, we don't know what's going to happen in the future, but we're just seeing that same kind of pattern. It falls to the 50-day moving average and then finds support and blasts off after that. So one of those other ones that, you know, kind of followed in the same path is the WTI crude. This right here is funny because nothing fundamentally has changed through this entire time. Like if you look at the dip back down here, it hit almost $60 a barrel for the WTI crude. Then it goes up to $76 a barrel for WTI crude. Now, you know, in one trading day from 66 to over 70. And what happened fundamentally? Nothing. Nothing really fundamentally changed, which is why the markets are so crazy. All right. Now that's just a little bit. If anybody, like I said, if anybody wants to talk about something specific, just let me know. Okay, just share that. You got to do that. Hit that thumbs up button because that's gonna, you know, let the algorithm know. I'm trying to reprogram the algorithm here. I'll just introduce with this. So what I found out, a little bit more about the algorithm. And essentially, what happens is if you get in their bad books, you get pushed down in what they call authority. So I have a low authority on this platform and probably the other platforms, definitely for here. And in fact, actually, it's funny. I got shadow banned on TikTok, but that's a whole different story. So what I'm trying to do here is increase my authority. The way we do that is doing different things like the lives, and I'm trying to post on other platforms so that I bring in outside traffic in, so that I create new, basically new ways to boost up the channel, and then hopefully the algorithm picks me up, and then we go rocket up higher to 1 million. That's the point, okay? I know there's a lot of comments in here. I'm gonna try to get to as many as I possibly can. Floods in Germany, yes, 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 I saw that. Not the only place too, there's been a few. GPS, how has the price of water not gone down with the insane rain? That's true. It depends on where you look, right? Hello from Quebec. North Carolina's in the house. Hi, David and community. Yes, we got such a great community, in fact, here for the Money GPS subscribers, because we're all united by the truth. That's what I love about this. Every day with you is guru hour. No, I'm not a guru. Not a guru. All right, Wisconsin. Hey, Wisconsin. The fake on a Bitcoin. I just talked about Bitcoin a little while ago. We'll see what happens with it. I think it's too early to tell. I think once we get, let's say, into 35,000 and beyond for Bitcoin, then it starts to get a little bit more serious. And yeah, for Bitcoin, I completely agree, right? We're looking at this in the recent price movements, of course, right? Hello. Hello, silver or gold for the long term? This is my opinion. Do not take my advice. This is not advice. This is just what I think. 50-50. And why 50-50? Complete ignorance, if that makes any sense to you. Louisiana. How will it affect the GPU market? Are you talking about the price currently? Of course, when the price of anything goes up, there's always a frenzy around it. There's always a mania around it. And of course, that supports the demand for, in this case, GPUs and ASIC miners and all these different types of miners. But, long term, I'm not so sure. All right. What up? Yes, Mike, I think so as well. We don't know what's going to happen. I mean, maybe over the next few days, it breaks out of that. Bullish on the S&P to the Fed meeting. Yeah, why not, right? I mean, they're supporting the markets clearly, very distinctly. We see that. So, hey, man, you should reach out to Wales Only on YouTube. He is a Wall Street guy that explains all the good stuff on the Fed and the markets. I've never heard of him. I could check it out. Heard a tiny blurb on the fourth stimulus package. Any info on that? Nothing official. I mean, I did hear about, that they want to do that, but not necessarily that anything is concrete at this point. Absolutely. Thank you. Hit that like button. You heard Manny. Hit that like button. Let's get her going. There's only 140 people in here at this time, so there's certainly a small group, but I'm glad everybody is here. Absolutely. This is a fantastic thing because we can always communicate, right? That's the best part about it. How about another from Wisconsin? Elk Mound, thanks for your clips. Absolutely. Thanks for coming on. Hello, GPS. What will collapse first, the financial system or society? Probably the financial system. The core group. That's right. That's right. That's what I love. It's people that show up all the time because they just simply want the truth. That's what I'm here for. Trying to get that truth. People don't want it, unfortunately. Hit that thumbs up, guys. Let's do it. Dallas, Texas. Society is at risk. So yeah, so if you want me to talk about this, I see a few comments about it. So essentially what's going to happen, I mean, everybody knows that within a 72-hour period, the store shelves are empty. I think once people are forced onto a cashless society, they're going to have much more dependence. What's happening here, whether it's on purpose or not, I see the push towards automation and robotics. This is going to leave people with no other choice but to rely on the government stimulus. That government stimulus, of course, keeps people dependent. And you have to just give them a little bit less than enough so they keep fighting. And eventually you have people fighting each other for no apparent reason because they're hungry, because they are struggling. And this is how you keep the people subdued and not looking at the king and trying to, figure out, why is he wearing a crown worth $1 million and I'm over here with nothing. This is what they do all the time, but nobody can see it because there's so many layers in between them and the globalist elite. If you're trying to look at people that you see in the news and think to yourself, he's a bad guy, he's not a good guy. I mean, these people, the suits and ties, the politicians, anybody that you see on TV, your attention, don't focus your attention at all on them, please. Really. All right. Thank you for the donation here. Thoughts on NJP political platform? I'm sorry, I don't know what that reference is. NJP. If you do a follow-up question, I'll make sure to answer that right away. NJP. If anybody else knows what it is, I can answer that. It may collapse before that. Nobody really knows ultimately, but I actually think that the financial system did in fact completely collapse back in 2008 into 2009. And even though Bear Stearns failed at this point and the market didn't really, it reacted obviously, but it wasn't until Lehman Brothers that it was kind of like, oh my God, what the heck is going on? Then I think it started to really reverberate around the world. So I think it's already been failed since then. Hi, David Kim from South Korea. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining in. I want the truth, but I would also appreciate solutions. Yes, if you want solutions, you can go to my playlist called How To and Solutions. You could see it there, and it basically just gives you a whole bunch of different things. I think I have hours of content in there for you. How To and Solutions playlist on YouTube. Hey, Mr. GPS, I'm Canadian, have a lot of guns. You plan on buying guns yourself? What I would say is, got to keep it family friendly. I would say that any means necessary, you have to protect yourself, you got to protect your family, and you have to protect your house. You have to do everything you can, and you need multiple layers of defense. Do not rely on one layer, multiple layers of defense. Become self-sufficient. I completely agree with this on many levels. If you just had a garden in the backyard during the summertime, hey, that's better than nothing. If you have some canned food in the basement, you have a couple extra big bags of rice, if you've got some storable food, maybe it's not enough to last a year, but hey, if you had a little bit, that's better than nothing. Everybody should be doing that. Everybody should be taking small steps and do what they can. I can, if you have a question, I could answer it. So is that the question you have? You didn't have to pay. Pumping cash. I'm back in the S&P strong. So Goldman Sachs sold, I believe it was 20 to 25. I got to check the number again. I did a video about it. Goldman Sachs sold approximately 20 to 25% of their portfolio. And they did this at a time when you look at most investors are extremely bullish, and you look at the retail investment has never been more. There's never been more retail investment than we see now today. Who is right? Only time will tell. I'm trying to understand why the banks are pumping cash back into the Fed. Are they trying to kill liquidity? So the banks, basically, they see it as a risk-free place to park their money. So they don't want to lend it out to people or to institutions or anything else. Maybe they decide that this is the safest way. They can make a very, very small return. At least they don't lose money. So maybe they're worried about turmoil and so on. Hit that like button. That's right. Hit it. Hit it. What's your take on the chip shortage? I would think that would be more downside effect plus China threats to Taiwan. It's like, if you look at some of the companies that are affected by it, HP and Intel and things, you look at their stocks, I haven't checked them in a while, but they had performed very weak as a result of that. And I just think it's interesting because, the stuff is coming along. Nobody is really not getting their products that they want, but it is affecting, for example, car manufacturers and this and that. You know, it's going to come online. They're saying it's going to take years. I don't understand why it would take years to get back to where we were if we only lost, like, realistically, the manufacturing in China, for example, lost maybe like 6 weeks, 8 weeks. So I don't know why they talk about this. I understand that there's a lot going on here, but I don't know. Seems illogical to me. What's your opinion on Toyota pulling out as a sponsor in the Olympics? Do you think the Olympics will go ahead? I know that's going to be a big loss. I mean, why did they even bother? Honestly, it's ridiculous. Oh, here we go. You got to bring kittens into. I got to change this background. I don't think I could do it live. I should put a kitten in the background here. Volatility is low on the DJI and other indices in the last 4 hours. Why? Because why not, right? This is what they do. This is what they do. They find a way to make it so unrealistically calm, even though there's a lot going on in the world. Basel 3. So Basel 3, this right here, as far as I'm concerned, and I know it's not a popular opinion, Basel 3 is like dry clean only. Okay? You know, it's a recommendation. You have to do it, but do you really have to? The answer is no. I think it's been pushed a lot by those who are selling gold and silver, which I'm a fan of, okay? But they're just trying to push it, saying, hey, the price is going to go higher, the price is going to go higher, but it's not necessarily going to go higher. What they say is that there's going to be this big demand for gold and silver as a result of Basel 3. So far, there's been absolutely no change whatsoever. However, they're saying it's going to take to the end of the year. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I just want to give you the truth, right? I don't want to give you what could be. BlackRock buying up assets with the repo dollars. How is it? Okay. So they're a middleman in what's happening with the Federal Reserve and their special purpose vehicles. And that just shows you how closely tied they are with the Federal Reserve. Kittens, unicorns, and rainbows. Okay, I'll put all three, kittens, unicorns, and rainbows on the background. I'll get it up here. People that tune into the channel for the first time probably wondering what the heck. It's funny, whenever I do a kitten video to test the algorithm, there's people that are just new to the channel and they're like, what the heck is this? Have you gone crazy? And so on. They don't get, the running joke. Yeah, I've been to the Perth Mint. Awesome. Kittens, rainbows, and unicorns. That's right. Everyone needs to exit the live chat to hit the like button. Oh, I got you. Okay. Should we buy farmland or farm ETFs? Jerry, thank you for the question. In my opinion, the only farmland is actual farmland. Okay, if you're buying an ETF, that's a stock. That's something else. If you want to buy farmland, you get farmland. Okay, so sometimes you got to split it with 10 people, just like in any real estate venture. Okay, if you're spending $1 million, you may not have $1 million. So maybe you got to spend it with 10 people. Maybe you're just the one that is sort of figuring everything out and other people are financing it. You can work out deals like that. There are a lot of ways to do it. How can citizens stop the craziness? I'm not sure which crazy. There's a lot of crazy going on today. I'll tell you that. But, I think people should be preparing for themselves, getting ready for themselves, doing things for themselves. And then hopefully that's contagious to other people. Precious metals can't rise much or the dollar will collapse. Yeah. So, I mean, it's so difficult to tell what's going to happen in the future, but I'll tell you right now, you should not speculate on the price of something rising and that being the only reason why you're going to buy it. It's just not wise long term. Okay, if you're holding gold and silver, you're doing it for an indefinite time frame. Along with quote, oh, by the way, thank you, James, for the donation. Along with temporary inflation, do you see the entire economy stalling temporarily? Well, we definitely did see that earlier on in 2020. I think there's this natural deflationary pull down that we're looking at today, even today. And without that stimulus, it just keeps falling. So you see that all the time. Stimulus comes up, they pump up their numbers. Okay, everything's looking fantastic. Everything's great. Oh, but what are we going to do now? As it's running out, it's starting to dry up and everything starts to slow down. And then they pump it up again with new stimulus. So how long, like how many times can you possibly do that over and over again? I really don't know. But I think that for a lot of people, what they should be focused on is what's going on with the QE, what's going on with the interest rates, and how much money is being pumped in there by the government. These three things are absolutely core and central. That's why I talk about it all the time. But if you look at it on a deeper level, you understand what's really happening here, and it's an increased dependence on the government and the central bank. So that's kind of the way I look at it anyway. I think long term there's going to be a big slowdown in the United States. How long that takes to happen, I'm not sure. All right, I'll go in on farmland. That's right. A lot of people, I could see a lot of people, like you get like-minded people that live in your area, you buy that farmland, and whether you're growing crops on it, maybe you've got some sort of farm animals there, maybe it's just a buy and hold type of thing. There's all different ways to do it. How do you allocate your portfolio? So I don't get into exactly what I do, but I would tell you that I'm extremely diversified. I have also, we don't hear about this often, but what I call the hidden asset or the forgotten asset, and that is business. So when you have multiple businesses, you have advantages that other people don't. So if you buy stocks, you buy real estate, different story depending on where you live. But if you're buying stocks, for instance, you go to sell that stock because you need to take a profit from it, then you are going to lose some of that money due to taxation. Okay, there are tax shelters and so on, but I think people need to be aware of that. When you have business, there are different things that you can do to take advantage that are simply unavailable elsewhere. Look at guys like Bezos and Musk and Buffett and all these people that utilize the tax system to their advantage, and you could be doing the same thing too. Thank you very much, Lawrence, for your donation. I really appreciate that. You will own nothing and be happy. That is the goal. Like, people need to understand what's happening here. So there's like a real high level, like a group of people and like who is the group of people. Honestly, it actually doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who the group is, but you can see the different levels of compartmentalization. And once you start to dig into it, then you realize, okay, so what do I got to do? What's the solution to all of that? You as an individual need to prepare for yourself. You got to do what you can. Your portfolio, if it's not real, truly diversified, and I'm talking about multiple asset classes, and within those asset classes you're diversifying too, then you're in big trouble. I just want to say that. But there are steps that you can take today to make that not necessarily so vulnerable. Today, people are so vulnerable because they don't know what to do, unfortunately. And all they do is invest in what they hear in the news. Look, Tesla's fantastic. There's going to be 1 million robo-taxis on the street. Elon Musk said there's going to be Tesla's driving on Mars in 2 years. So I'm going to put everything I have into it. Hey, a lot of people do that. Stock goes up. But is that really the way that you should be buying stocks? Is that where you want to put your hard-earned savings? For some people, they do. All right. Death Valley. Awesome. I wonder how hot it is there now. What businesses do you invest in, and what do you think is a bad business? Okay. Businesses to invest in. The number one, I'm going to say it again, the number one business that people should be looking at. I know not a lot of people are going to like this, but if you have a little bit of capital to start with, selling on Amazon. More than half the sales on Amazon are coming from small businesses in your local area. So this right here is a way for people to get their feet in the door on their new type of asset. These businesses can run very passively. It's fantastic. You can get a product that's sourced locally in your area, or you can import it from somewhere else and you could sell that product there. But you don't have to just sell it on Amazon. You could sell it on eBay. You could sell it on Facebook Marketplace. You could sell it to your neighbor. Do what you can, but this is the process to begin. That's the best. What I would say is the worst is anything that's not scalable. So if you have to go knocking on doors, knock, 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 that's not a bad thing. If you need to make money today, do it. But it's not scalable. How many doors can you knock on in a day? If it's raining, if it's snowing, if it's, something's wrong, what are you going to do? So that's the problem. You need a business that's scalable to some degree. Eventually, money printing will have no effect. I completely agree with that. It actually loses its stimulative effect over time. All right. Social Security raise is a nominal raise. Inflation cancels it out. It's true. Well, the goal is, like I said, to make people dependent, and that's what they're doing right now. Not too many people, but hard to control so many people. That's why you use the financial system. If you use, so think about it, you get everybody using their credit cards or debit cards and their cell phones, and then you bring in some sort of central bank digital currency. Everybody's paying through this system, and then you can have much more control over them. Watch their transactions. If I want to transact between you, if I go to a garage sale and I'm giving you $5 for that item there, that's between you and I. There's no third party involved. But now you go to the central bank digital currencies, now they know about that transaction and they say, wait a second, you sold that for $5, but you bought it back in 1986 for $1. Well, you made $4 profit. That belongs to us. So this is the way that they want to do it, and they will. They'll get there. They absolutely will get there. All right. Will there be starvation when the collapse happens? It depends how bad the collapse happens. I mean, there's going to be different collapses along the way. That's for sure. My primary portfolio is my diverse skill set. Excellent. Get over consumerism and you'll be fine. So you'll be better off, but not necessarily fine because of the control over the financial system that they have. Many people are highly dependent on Social Security, fixed incomes, and so on. So even if you don't go out to the movies and even if you don't buy fancy food, eventually things can become so expensive, and the services that you're getting, your heat, your, food or whatever it might be is just so expensive, it's difficult. So yeah, you can deal with that in some cases, but they're trying to make it as hard as possible. Global shipping crisis keeps going. Absolutely. I'm seeing that at all levels, really. If you look at the price of a container to move that overseas, it's insane. It's really insane. And the ports are just stuffed. They are just stuffed everywhere. But I wonder how much of it is contrived. I don't know. Investing in property in countries like Brazil or Argentina with the USD is high against the real. Yeah, I mean, you could absolutely be taking advantage of that. I do agree. The only trouble with it when you're investing overseas is that, okay, so you can go there, you can take a trip there, you can look at the property, you can put your money in, but you leave, you come back to the US, now you've got a property manager looking at it. Are you able to verify that this is something that, they're a good quality company? Are they taking care of you? So you can't necessarily say, hey, you know what? I got an hour. Let me go see the property and see how it's doing. You're relying on that third party, which might be okay. But that's the thing. You can't exactly just leave on a whim and go see that property. But in a financial sense, absolutely. There are a lot of places. I know that even Cambodia is a place where you get some good return, and Georgia. Georgia is one other place that's having good returns on their portfolio. And again, you've got a place like Georgia. Your U.S. dollar is going to buy a lot over there. Yeah, there are a couple of uncensored or let's say other alternate platforms. The problem with these other platforms is that they're all like split up. So you get like a little bit here, a little bit there, and it's really scattered. And there's not enough people on one platform. So I have all my videos going to Odyssey. The reason why I do that is because it's automated. I don't have to touch it at all. So I post my video, it automatically goes over to Odyssey. Awesome. I support that. But to be able to then, have to create a second video or upload it manually directly, it's very, very difficult, time consuming. All right. Slave labor will be the next slaves. The robots will be taking over, so you don't have to worry about people doing it. They're going to have robots building everything. You will become unnecessary. I hope that's not. Like, I hope people don't take that the wrong way. It's just they're doing it. So I just want you to have the truth. That's all. Susan, thank you for this. Thank you for the support. Do you ever sleep? The truth doesn't sleep, Susan. The truth doesn't sleep. You got to be able to do this all day, every day. This is 10 years on YouTube right now. 10 years going strong. I have done more than 365 videos per year, every single year for as long as I can remember. I'm sure at some point I didn't do a video, but yeah, it's basically every single day. And there's no, like, I'm doing, so what the Money GPS is like, I'm doing the research already. I have to do the research. So I'm basically making a video about it. Now there's a lot of time around that because just the production of the whole like Money GPS video, but bringing the content to you is something I'm already doing. So I'm kind of just sharing it. So I hope you appreciate it. Since last year, a winner. Oh, wow. Nice. At Amazon, if you make over 1,000 sales a day, you win the Iron Cross. I'm going to Brazil, considering it my favorite home. Yeah, Heather, check it out. There's, you know, if you get a reliable company to watch over it, if you're not going to personally like be able to check it out, then, you know, that's probably the best way to do it anyway, because they're, you know, they know how to deal with these things. Sometimes you don't want to be dealing with the wrong tenants and this and that. So it could be fantastic. Just do your due diligence properly. That's all. And like you were saying, you're using US dollar to buy it. So clearly, you know, to win at this point for sure. Money GPS, would Amazon be more valuable if the government splits it up? I think so. I think any company, any of these big tech companies that they split up will probably be more powerful. But I mean, you got to remember, like, the government and these type of big companies, they're really just one organization. Don't think of, like, people think the government is like this umbrella organization that's there representing the people. You've got the Congress, you've got the judicial system, you've got the guy on top and so on. And instead, if you just look at it as like, these are salesmen, or they're just really a corporate face, or they're a mask covering the corporate face of what this really is. If you have no assets and no money and you eat at the food bank, then no one could do anything to you. There's always more that they can take. They could take your dignity. I fear the investors are careless, along with the Fed, and will cause a really bad event due to their carelessness. We are way past that. We are way past that at this point. I mean, it's like, especially the retail investor has never put this much money into the markets before, ever in history, anything ever close. You look at the amount of margin they're using, because hey, if I only have $100, but I use margin or I use some sort of leverage, maybe now I have $200 or $300. This is fantastic. It's free money. I'm making so much money. I'm investing in Tesla. Oops, Tesla drops 30%. Now I need a new pair of underpants. All right. But the governments will put up toll roads to Bitcoin. They're going after, yeah, they're going after the exchanges and so on. They'll do everything they can, but still, in the crypto world, they can't control that. They can control the exchanges, the centralized exchanges like Coinbase and stuff, which are the most popular, which people are using the most, and that's why kind of people get scared. But the only people who are really truly scared are those who are speculating on price. Any opinion on Australia, property, economic outlook? So Australia is, in my opinion, highly dependent on what happens in China, which is not necessarily a bad thing for like the economy when you look at it, because China's obviously growing. They need what Australia can export. The problem I'm seeing is there's a lot of back and forth, and not, more like, fighting back and forth in between China and Australia. So, that's not a good thing in any way. All right. There's so many comments in here, guys. We're already at 30 minutes. I just really appreciate you guys coming out. That's all. With all the carbon footprint nonsense going on, do you see oil becoming obsolete and electric hydrogen vehicles taking over the world? If so, when? All of the car companies have said, like all the major car companies have said, we are going to have electric vehicles. Our entire fleet is going to be electric. everybody's like going electric. And I'm not exactly sure that, first of all, the electrical grid can handle it. But they're saying it. They're saying they're going for that, the push. But I mean, the infrastructure, I don't think is there yet. In that like 5-year term, a lot of these companies say that all new cars produced are going to be electric. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how they're going to do it. I mean, people might just delay getting a new car because they say, well, I've got this gasoline car. I don't want to buy that other car. They're pushing that, like, regardless, they're pushing in that direction. So everybody, don't forget, hit that thumbs up button for the Money GPS. We got to push this out there. I'm trying to give you as much value as possible. Fake monopoly currency only works if the people continue to play. More and more people losing fake in the fake currency. Either countries print out or nothing. It's true. It's true. But see, what we're doing now is something that we've never done before, and that is all simultaneously printing. It's crazy because this can bring in a collapse like we've never seen before. That's why people need to be self-sufficient. Look, parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, they knew something because they had to deal with it. They had a backyard garden. They had community gardens where they lived. They had some sort of like water catch system. They had the ability to share with their neighbors. They had like different relationships with people. Now today, everything's so different. It's scattered. We have this just-in-time system. We don't have backyard gardens because everybody's living in condos. Everybody's sky high up in the air, and it's really dangerous, especially with all the big cities. Everybody moves into these these tight environments, and even though we've had more people move out into the urban areas, or I should say the suburban areas, they don't have the skills to do anything and don't have the desire either. Water shortage coming. So some areas are going to deal with water shortage. I think that water is going to become a problem. I do. You got to look for areas that have a lot of water. That's good. You got to look for investments around water. I'll tell you that very much. But water will be, they say that the future wars will be fought over water. I believe it. I believe it. We can all learn from the Amish. That's right, Mark. It's true. For some of that stuff, I mean, it's just so key. Jerry Springer. Jerry Springer. This is Pink Floyd. It's just another brick in the wall. That's all. Electric car is not green because the battery electricity production is not often green with coal. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on here. It's hard to know what's true and what's sort of bending the truth and everything. But like I said, they're going towards electric regardless if it's green or if it's not. That's what they're pushing for. Get off Facebook. Okay. Thanks for your honesty. Absolutely. That's what I'm trying to do. I don't give, like, if you notice, you see some of the channels that are like above 1 million, a few million subscribers. It's like reading a Bloomberg article and CNBC article. There's just nothing deeper whatsoever, but their channels are popular, so it's great. When will real estate crash? I think it's quite certain when interest rates increase, but up until that point, I'm not so sure. There would be a bounty. Oh, geez. Your stream is full speed ahead. Someone put a brick on the gas pedal. I like it. Yeah, this is awesome. I try to give as much info as I can, and there's also so many questions coming in. Trying to do my best. Much of the water is commoditized. Much other water is used in data centers to spy on us. Absolutely. Alex Jones. Nothing is free. Canadian economy in the future. So the Canadian economy relies almost 100% on real estate. If real estate does come down, so if you have inflation coming up, interest rates will have to rise. That will, of course, put the brakes down hard on Canada. There's no doubt about it, because a very large percentage of the public works directly or indirectly in real estate. And of course, the amount of debt that people take on for their real estate is just obscene in Canada, all over, small cities and the big ones. So it's going to be a big problem. But, and the good news, Canada has the most fresh water, from what I understand, in the world, so they can capitalize on that. But they'll probably just sell it off to the US or China or something. What do you think about the billionaires going to outer space, but against increasing minimum wage? They can do whatever they, in my opinion, they can do whatever they want. I don't think people should be focused on it. I don't think people should be caring about what Bezos is doing. I think we should be focusing on having a garden. I think we should be focusing on becoming more self-sufficient. You should look at backup generators. You should be able to provide yourself with a secondary income. That's it. They're going to do whatever they want. They're coming out into the public. You go all the way back into the, ancient civilizations, and you see there's this hierarchy. And for the most part, there's a small group of people that get everything and everybody else gets nothing. But we can't keep looking at those at the top of the pyramid, because I'll tell you right now, the further deeper you go and you start digging into this, it gets real ugly. Okay, if you want to, I've dug down the rabbit hole. I promise you. I don't talk about it on this channel, but I've gone all the way down the rabbit hole, freaked out, came right back up. Okay. Where is your Amazon book located at? It's on Amazon, on all of the Amazons. You can get it at Barnes & Noble as well. You can go to my website, themoneygps.com. It's on there. It's available. You can actually ask any store. Yeah, I've even had people say that they went to the library and borrowed my book. So it's possible. Absolutely, Wes. Thank you for coming on. I wonder when we'll start paying fines for violating the Paris Accord, such as the car emissions. Yeah, they're going to tax. So what they do, if they want to restrict you, they could say, you can have your gasoline car. No problem. Absolutely no problem whatsoever. We're going to tax you every mile driven. That tax is going to increase every single year. Oh, and you got to pay a tire tax because the rubber is, the rubber causes, environmental damage. You got to pay tax on those tires. Every time you go to get your tires changed and rotated, that's another tax. They can do like crazy things. And then you're just like, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to take Uber. I'm just going to take the public transit. So then you have to go through their systems, right? They want to be able to control each and every facet of your life. Let's see what else we got. Solar generators, anything, solar generators, canned food. Silver. Yeah, you got to do what you can. Everything. If you only have $10, use that $10 appropriately. 110%, currently 80%. Do you know if Canada's bought gold to add to its reserves? It was at zero. Yes, the last time I checked, it was at zero, but it's been a little while. What happened to the solar panel push? I think it's still happening today. There's a lot of places that are doing it. A lot of places are becoming solar ready. So like the house is kind of wired for solar, but they don't have the panels in them. And businesses are getting them. If you look on maps, you'll be able to see, from the satellite view, a lot of businesses have solar panels now. This one I already had. All right. I don't know who this is, to be honest with you. Are you an Amazon seller? I do sell on Amazon, yes. What made you decide to start making videos? So I was in the middle of writing my book, and one day I was reading some information, and I'm just like, this is upsetting me because they're lying. They're just straight up lying. So I'm like, I got to make a video. I'm going to share this. Nobody watched it. Nobody watched my second video. Nobody watched my third video. Nobody watched any of my videos for a long time. And so I just kept making videos. I didn't care. And then eventually some people started watching videos, but it was like a slow ride. And even today, the group of people is still small, I would consider, but I'm just like, I'm so glad that there are people that are listening to me. That is so fantastic. You have no idea. Like, you come here for the truth, but I'm so glad that people are listening. You have no idea. It's amazing. Eric, thank you so much. Thank you so much for this donation. If there was ever a time to go down the rabbit hole, now's the time. I can't bring you down there. So my information, I hope that I give people enough detail that they feel, okay, this is interesting. Let me go look into it a little further. And then they're finding those guys, people, I should say, that are digging a little deeper, and then they can go through there. If you talk about that kind of stuff way down the rabbit hole on this platform, you get banned eventually. So it's just not worth it. But at least they could start their journey with the mainstream stuff. Then hopefully they'll see me, and then they go even further. But we got to be careful where we spend our time. It needs to be, you got to get the most bang for your buck. Okay? You got to be productive as an individual and so on. All right. Surprised water hasn't yet to be traded on the commodities exchange. So there are derivatives. There are water derivatives. United utility stock, they pay dividends and can never go out of business. Wasn't that one in California had some problems? But yeah, I know what you mean. So I don't talk about what I do specifically. But I would say that if you think that it's the right buy, then you should be buying it. Don't wait for somebody to tell you what the right thing to do is. Okay, I hope that helps you. More people are waking up, David. Yeah, I'm glad. And you know, they try to suppress it, but more people, like the more they try and suppress, the worse it is for them. 100% David, 80% of North Americans are consumers. 20% of our providers or grandparents have to provide goods or services and deepen relationship with the members of the community to survive. Whether it was because they had to or because they realized that this is a smart thing to do, that's what they did. I got another person to wake up today and you are on her list. Awesome. That's awesome. Good to hear that. If your grandma will sell it till you do it, as long as it's productive land or has potential value to be productive. Yes. All right. Great questions. There's so many comments and questions, guys. Fantastic. Thank you for your knowledge and you give your audience. Thank you, Brian. Thank you for coming on. Enron was a different story. Oh my goodness. I read so much about Enron years ago. I think it was the book Infectious Greed that I read that talked about Enron. I mean, at least the one that really got into depth with it, if I'm not mistaken. Leave the post up longer. I'm a slow reader. It's hard because it covers my face. I can't adjust the camera angle. This is all I got. This is unfortunately the current setup I have. Land in your hand. It's solid but bland. Yeah, it's true. I like the new billionaire space race, maybe because I'll see mankind work on Myers before I die when I was a kid. Energy companies are big and they breed corruption. Any big company is always going to have some level of corruption behind it. We need to realize that. But I think that people can't be focused on it because, like, people protest, in my opinion, over the wrong things. Because what I see is people get so worked up. Oh, this guy's a bad guy. That guy's a bad guy. And meanwhile, that time that we invest in that is not productive for ourselves. It's a distraction because guys like Bezos are a distraction to us. We focus, hey, make sure he pays his taxes. Make sure he pays his taxes. Let's be honest. He's not going to pay taxes, okay? And what are you going to do about it? You're going to put another politician in charge. He's going to make you pay. He's going to make them pay the taxes. Yeah, he's going to go from 0.1% to 0.2%. And ultimately, at the end of the day, nothing comes to you. It goes into a black hole, or it gets dropped 30,000 feet from the sky from a drone onto a different country. That's where your tax dollars go. The less tax dollars that they're given, the better. It's crazy. It's like so out of this world. I mean, people don't tell you this stuff, but I'm sure you, if you starve the government of their tax dollars, this is good because it forces them to make hard decisions. And right now they're just flush with cash. That's why they can spend it on spying on you. That's why they could spend it on doing things to take your liberties. Oops, I went down a little bit too much into the truth there. You got to watch that. Really, I do, because I know a lot of people don't like to hear that kind of stuff. And so what can I do? All right, guys, I got to get out of here. I have to do the video of the day. I'm getting emails like crazy. Do you think the unemployment numbers are faked or not? Yes, they are. They are absolutely fake. Even the Labor Department, the Department of Labor put out a statement, said these numbers that we are giving you are not accurate, but we're not going to make any adjustments because we don't do that. I mean, wow. They think you're so stupid. They think you're garbage. They treat you like garbage and you just take it. You're like, well, you know, whatever. It's 5% unemployment rate. Okay, that sounds great. That's what what the general public does. They just swallow it. I mean, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. Wow. I mean, I hear the things in the comment. Why are you saying that the economy is bad? The unemployment rate's at 5%. My goodness. Too much truth? Never. Thank you. Thank you, Manuel. You are fake news. What's upcoming highlights on the GPS tomorrow? I've got a bunch of different things. So what I do is I pull up like 50 tabs. For those who just want to know what I do, I pull up like 50 tabs all at once. And then I kind of form that into a video. Half the time I've got like 6 different things I don't even cover in the video because it's just at the end. I know I'm already at like 15 minutes plus. I know, okay, just got to end it there. So that's usually the way I do it. I start with like a huge amount and then I find, okay, what's the best thing of the day? So throughout the day, I'm opening tabs. I'm getting from different people are emailing me things and I'm being contacted. And there's just this overwhelming water flow of info. And then I kind of digest that down into a video that you see. And it's like, there's a lot going on in here. Let me just, there's a lot going on. Try to make these videos fantastic. Most of the people I find, and this is not to criticize any of the other YouTubers out there, they have one fact, one point, maybe one article, and that's the entire basis for a 10, 15, 20-minute video. Whereas what I'm trying to do is like save you the time. You don't need to go to Bloomberg and CNBC and Reuters and everything else. You come to the Money GPS and I provide that funnel to you. I give you from the top down, you get everything you need to know. At least that's my goal. I'm not sure if I am successful at that. You let me know. If I'm helping to save you time, that's to me, that's great. That's a great thing. Let me know in the comments. If you let me know before I get out of here, I would love to know if you think that. Or if you don't think that. What do you think about the droughts? I'm pretty sure I already answered that question, Alex. About the droughts, there's droughts in some places, there's floods in other places. There's always extreme weather that's happening. Right now, it's more than ever before. Are they playing with the weather? Is that what you're asking me? If they're playing with the weather, we know they're playing with the weather. They admit that. Look what they did in Dubai. They made it rain. In the middle of the desert, they made it rain. They used a drone. I don't know if you saw this. I posted about it on my Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that. If you're not on my Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, right here, actually, it's coming up right here. You got to get on there because I post things that I don't talk about on the channel. Okay. So basically, they send these drones up into the sky and it sent like a pulsing into the clouds and that made it rain. Like, I don't even know how they even that's possible. But anyway, that's what they did. They made it rain. Are they playing with the weather? They admit they're playing with the weather. I hope that answers your question. Chaz. Awesome. Chaz, thank you very much. Thank you for the support right here. Chaz was one of the few that showed up basically every day to the clubhouse that we had going on. That was fantastic. That was fun. That was a good time. Clubhouse was actually really good. If anybody hasn't used that platform, I'm not sponsored by them, but I would suggest getting on Clubhouse. Find the right room. If you find the garbage room, you're going to get garbage content, but on any subject, you can get great content, and you can actually speak up and talk to people, which is great. Like this here, I'm reading your comments on the side of the page, which is great. But in Clubhouse, you actually talk back and forth. And the way I ran the room was different than what other people ran the room. I just let everybody speak. Let us all speak. Everybody has something good to say. The Dunning-Kruger effect and the Machiavellian, yes. So Dunning-Kruger is a fantastic thing because a lot of people don't realize what they're doing, and actually that's big time what's happening. You can share with the zombies at first, but once food is gone, they will begin to eat your brainstem. Yes. Solar's awesome. I don't have a power bill or black. That's fantastic. Truly fantastic. I commend that. Anybody who is self-sufficient in any way, awesome. And by the way, having skills, different skills today, I think it's really underrated because, everybody, maybe they're a clerk at the store, maybe they work at, a general administration for a company, and your job, first of all, oh, you're work from home. This is fantastic, everybody. I get to work from home now. Amazing. I'm saving on transportation. This is fantastic. This is fantastic. Okay, they got you working from home. Well, why do they need you to be working from home? Why can't they get somebody in the Philippines to work from home? Why can't they get somebody in India to work from home? Trust me, they're moving towards that. But if you had skills that require you to be, with your hands, or you're feeding people, you're providing food in some way, you have some sort of skill, programming skill, something that other people do not have and can't just be learned. Okay, if I'm on the job for 2 weeks, I figure it out, I got it. Like, you have to go beyond that. I think that those people will do much, much better. You do great work, Money GPS. Thank you very much. With the banks getting back to the office in September, do you think this will have any impact on the commercial property? We'll definitely see. I know that some companies, financial companies, are going to a permit for their back office. They are going to permanent work from home. So that's a lot of people. I know of a lot of businesses that are condensing the amount of real estate that they have. But we'll see, because they're already saying, well, maybe we shouldn't go back to the office now because of the situation we're not allowed to talk about. All right. Thank you, sir. Alex, you're welcome. Kathleen, you're really good at that and it helps a lot. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Nice stream. Thank you. I appreciate, Claudio, I appreciate you just showing up. Create a news team. I would love to expand this and do all kinds of different, I have a lot of different ideas, but unfortunately just not enough resources. But I'm going to try to get there. Chaz, thank you. Thank you. Again, thank you. Skills are an asset. That's true. Chaz has some skills, I'll tell you that. And that's the type of thing that people don't like. Even if you had one skill, electrician, maybe you are HVAC or something else, you can kind of, you can do other things too, right? If in the event that your skill wasn't as needed, or maybe you could make some money here or there and do things. But people who are just, I'm just going to rely on whatever, my education is, or whatever, you've got to have two things. You've got to have two things. I really believe that. You can also cause the same effect with the silver nitrate. All right. I have a degree in psychology, 63 years old, you mentioned, and Dunning-Kruger. I had to look it up. Yeah, I see it all the time. I see the Dunning-Kruger all the time. I will help for free, GPS. Thank you, Manny. No. Once I get to a point where I got a lot of, let's just say I got a lot of big, if this channel wasn't shadow banned where it was, it's not, they don't call it shadow, by the way, shadow ban doesn't officially exist. What they do is they lower your authority. Okay, they lower your authority. Like, my channel isn't completely and entirely shadow banned. It's called lower authority. So the chance of me popping up to you is very low. It's possible, but it's very low. If we can actually break through that barrier, there's a lot is going to change. I promise you. I'm trying, guys. But unfortunately, the financial side of this business is not good. So that's why when I see donations and everything, it really lifts my spirits. But at the same time, what I'm going to do, and I've talked to this before, and then I'm going to go, it's 57 minutes already. What I want to do is take on sponsors. So the sponsors pay me, so I don't have to worry about the pennies that I get from the advertisements. Those sponsors would be like an old school radio plug where I'll be, just basically promoting a service that I appreciate, that I want to talk about. They get their 30 seconds or whatever, and then we move on. So that way there's no ads. The ads are gone. How are you, OG? I don't know how OG I am, but 10 years on the platform, does that make me OG? Great channel. Yes, skills are important, very important. How can we not fall victim to social unrest? Have good neighbors, get them to be self-sufficient as possible, have a lot of storable food. Don't tell anybody that you have storable food. The trades are a good investment for skills. Absolutely. Even if you're just moderate skills, you don't have to be like a master of something, but all right. Love, thank you. Thank you for coming on today. Every day, by the way. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you for the support. Gardening is a fantastic skill, and I want to see more indoor gardening too, because we got a lot of cold climate people that just, well, I can't do anything, so forget it. No, we need to get serious with that. All right. So, my neighbors, same narrative. Yeah. All right. Okay, everybody. I'm going to start working on. Yes, that's true. I am censored because I speak the truth. It's true. If I was doing cat videos, if I was doing those kitten videos with the rainbow, I should change the background. Maybe we can reprogram the algorithm by showing some kittens and things, and then we use special code that only you and I understand, and then maybe we can get around this. But anyway, yes. So I'm trying to do this every single day. My plan, my intention here was to do this for only 30 minutes, but it seems like I'm going beyond that all the time. Prediction, the timing of negative interest rates. So I don't necessarily think they're going to go negative interest rates. They could, maybe, but I think that they will be doing more money printing before they go negative interest rates. All right. Yes, microgreens, totally agree. Awesome. You bought one of the Money GPS t-shirts. Thank you very much for the support. If that was you. Yes, everybody's saying thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate everybody. I'm going to take off. I'm going to start working on the video. Check it out tomorrow. As always, I'm trying to get it as hard-hitting as possible. If you have suggestions, if you want to see something, post it in the comments. Tell me about it, because that's what I'm trying to do. That's what this live chat is about. It's about me getting to know you more, you getting to know me a little bit more, because my videos are quite structured. This way I can get the details that you need to know, and you can find what you want the most. So that's all. That's what I wanted to get into today. Tomorrow I'll be back. I'll try to keep it more concise tomorrow. We'll go 30 minutes if I can. I say that, but of course it never happens. I'm going to end it there. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you on the next one.